You see, because I look out at this crowd, I see a lot of different types of faces. The truth is, your diversity is not your strength. It never has been. Your strength is in your unity of purpose. It's in your shared mission. It's in your oath to the Constitution. It's the bond that turns individuals into single-minded fighting units. You see, you are set apart. You're not civilians. You're devil dogs, leathernecks, United States Marines. Hoorah! You are set apart for a distinct purpose. You kill bad guys and break things for a living. You close with and destroy the enemy for a living. And as we mark the 250th birthday of the Marine Corps, take a moment and remember where you are in the great American story. We know no Marine serves alone. They serve alongside a family. Someone else who understands that is Vice President Vance, who is right there alongside President Trump, who he himself has made the same types of sacrifices that you have. Your vice president enlisted after high school in the Marine Corps and served in Iraq. Your vice president knows and shares the dedication of this force, and he represents you always in Washington. And as I tell every warrior I meet, our president and vice president, they have your back. And I promise you, so do I. Support from the top is all I ever wanted when I was a young infantry lieutenant in Iraq, or in Afghanistan, where my boss actually happened to be a Marine. He was tough, he was brave, and a little bit crazy. But I loved him for it. And I knew he would do anything for me. So on behalf of the Department of War, thank you. Congratulations on 250 years of success. And here's to 250 more. I can say to you, we've got 7 little kids in our stead. Not so little anymore, a couple teenagers. Man, I would be proud as a dad if I ever saw one of them put on the uniform of a United States Marine.
Hoorah, Marines! I didn't hear you. Hoorah, Marines! God bless you, Marines. God bless you, Camp Pendleton. It is so much fun and such an honor to be out here to celebrate 250 years of United States Marines. Now, I know we're here to talk about the Marine Corps, but I got to get just a little political because congressional Democrats seem to want to keep the government shut down, even though it would mean that a lot of you would not get your paycheck. But as I told the president just a couple of days ago, I said, sir, we have got to figure out how to pay these Marines, both for their sake, but also, of course, because if we don't pay our enlisted Marines, every bar in Southern California is going to go out of business, and we don't want that. Now, I've also got to give a special shout out to the incredible display that we saw earlier today. It made my heart sing as your vice president, and it was a testament to the Corps' strength and unbeatable power. It reminded me why I am so proud to have worn the uniform, to be one among your ranks, and to be the very first vice president to have been a United States Marine. My service in the Marine Corps was a huge part of my life. I would not be here today. I would not be the vice president of the United States. I would not be the man I am today were it not for those 4 years that I served in the Marine Corps. Now, before I was enlisted, I was pretty terrified about the prospect of becoming a Marine. I'm sure that a lot of you can share that. I remember I had nightmares before I went to boot camp of drill instructors yelling at me, of being away from my family, of being constantly stretched well beyond my own physical limits. It's daunting stuff, as all of you know. And as anyone who survived boot camp can tell you, it's all real. But my cousin Rachel, in particular, one last shout out to a former Marine. In particular, she pushed me to do it. A veteran of the Corps herself, she got it. She understood what joining does for a young man or a young woman. So she pushed me to go and talk to a recruiter, which I did, and I will never forget that conversation. Because at no point did he try to sell me on the United States Marine Corps. He warned me, said, you don't enlist in the Marine Corps to make money. And you all know that's exactly right. He said you might even go to war. This was back in 2003, right after we invaded Iraq. But what he did tell me is that enlisting in the Marines would teach me many things, including discipline and the virtue of leadership. And that was appealing to me, and I know it's appealing to Marines today and for every year of our 250-year history. Hoorah! But over the days that followed, what further dawned on me was that I needed to do this not just for me, but for the nation. My country needed me just as sure as the country needs each and every one of you today. The September 11th attacks had occurred barely a year earlier. And as I weighed what enlisting would mean, the crisis in Iraq was becoming a full-out war. So I made the call. As an 18-year-old senior in the state of Ohio, it was one of the first times in my life that I recall feeling like the country actually needed me. And when I realized I had a responsibility to something so much greater than myself or even my family, and I had an obligation to act on that feeling of duty.